Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Maths Made Easy with Terry in 10 minutes. So what we are going to do is finding the equation of a curve from its derivative. Before I proceed, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, please do let me know. Send me an email and I'll get back to you. All right, also, before you get to this point, make sure you understand the concept of how to integrate. Is very important, so that this is just like the icing on the cake. It's just an application of what we've learned already and applying all the rules together. All right, so just a quick one, just to remind us. So if, for instance, you have y, or you sometimes it's called f of x, all right, and you want to get your y prime, or you can call it the y over dx, okay, or you can call it f prime x. In some cases, you can call it the slope or the slope of the tangent. So to get from y to y prime or the y over the x, what do? You differentiate. Okay? You differentiate. Then, if you're moving from this point all the way from the derivative back to the original equation, is what? You integrate, okay? So this is the part we're interested in. How do we integrate? You have the derivative and you need to get the original equation for that. Now, to do this, we have 5 rules for this, okay? So we have 5 rules or 5 steps, depending how you want to label it. Number 1, the first thing you have to do is that you have to substitute x1 into dy over dx to get the value of m. M is the slope, or you can call it the slope of the tangent in some cases. And but basically the slope, dy over dx is the slope. So you substitute x1 into f prime, or you can call it dy over dx to get the value of m. Number 2, then you now integrate f of f prime or dy over dx using any of the relevant rules, so you can get y plus c, or f of x plus c. So because this is an indefinite integration, so you're going to have a constant here. Is that okay? You're going to have a constant here. So let's go. So we're going to integrate f prime x or dy over dx using relevant rules. To get y plus c. Okay? Or it depends if you want to call it f of x plus c. So remember, we've talked about this in indefinite integration, okay? Then next thing as well is that we now solve in number 3. What do? You then substitute the x1 and the y1 into step 2 to get the value of c. Then you then substitute x1 and y1 into step 2 to get the value of c. Number 4, okay? When you're done with that, you then rewrite y with the value of c. So because you've gotten the value of c, so the answer you got from step 2, you now rewrite y with the value of c. So you now rewrite y with the value of c. Okay, then number 5, then you now apply all the relevant rules to get the equation of the tangent and the normal. So I've talked about the equation of a tangent, equation of a normal, when I talked about differentiation. So please go back and review how to get the equation of a tangent, equation of a normal. I've discussed this in detail. So here, I'm going to just apply the concept here, all right? So I'm not gonna go back and try to talk about it again. So go to the playlist and we'll talk about it when you're ready. So you apply all the relevant rules to get the equation of a tangent or normal. Okay. So I've discussed this in the previous video. All right. So let's get cracking then. Let's solve. I'm going to solve two examples for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try as much as possible to combine both equation of tangent and normal together. All right. So let's go. So let's pick this example here. All right. So we have number one, they said the curve y is equal to f of x passes through -1 and 4, okay, given f prime x. So some textbook will call it f prime x, some will call it dy over dx. It's still the same thing. 2x cubed minus x minus 8. A, they want you to find the expression for f of x. B, they want you to also find the equation of the tangent and normal. To the curve at x is equal to 2. All right. So we're going to do that part now. We're going to solve that and see how we're going to get. So the first thing, so let's go back. What is step one? So step one said we need to substitute the value of x into the y over dx to get the value for m. So we're going to go back now because we know that m is the same thing as dy over dx. So let's go back. So we have step one. So we already know that f prime x, right, which is the same thing as m, is equal to. So if you look at this equation here, so you can see the -1 is the x, the 4 is the y, right? So we're going to substitute it now. So it's going to give us 2 into bracket -1 raised to the power of 3 minus -1 minus 8. And when you press your calculator, that will give you -9, okay? That will give you -9. So therefore, the m, which is equal to the slope, will be equal to -9. All right, so we'll go back to and find what step 2. Step 2 now said that we need to integrate f of x to get a value, to get y plus c, all right? So we're going to integrate it now using any of the relevant rules. So let's go. So we're going to integrate 2x cubed, 2x cubed minus x minus 8. So step 2, we're going to integrate the f prime x so that this is going to give us y in respect to c, in respect to x. So it's going to be, we're going to integrate 2x cubed minus x minus 8. And I've talked about how to integrate, okay, in respect to x in this case, all right? So what do? You add 1 to the power divided by the new power. So it's going to be 2 x4 over 4. So I've done how to integrate in the previous examples, the previous videos. You can go back and have a look at it. So there's a 1 here. So it's going to be x1, that will be 1 plus 1, 2 divided by 2 minus 8x. Now, but in this case, because it's a definite integral, you need to add what? To add c. So you can now break this down. So therefore, this is going to be y will be equal to x4 over 2, because 2 can divide here, minus x squared over 2 minus 8x plus c. Are you seeing it? Minus 8x plus c. All right, so we've gotten the y expression, which I believe now in step 3, we need to get a value for c. So now we need to now substitute the x1 and the y1 into this equation to get a value for c. All right, so we need to substitute. So we already know from the question, our x1 was -1 and our y1 was 4. So our x1 was -1 and y1 was 4. So step 3, so we need to make c some use of the formula. So c, so I'm going to take every other thing to the other side. So it's going to be y minus, I take this to the other side, x4 divided by 2, take this to the other side, plus x2 divided by 2, take this to the other side, plus 8x. Okay, so that will give us equal to, we know that the point was -1 and 4. So the point we were told was -1 and 4. So that means x is -1 and y is 4. So it's going to become 4 minus -1 raised to the power 4 divided by 2 plus -1 squared divided by 2 plus 8 minus 1. And so therefore, the c is going to be equal to what? -4. Okay? So now the c we have is -4. So now what is step 4? So step 4 now said that we need to then rewrite y with a value of what? C. All right, we need to rewrite y with a value of c. So what was our y? The y was x4 divided by 2 minus x squared divided by 2 minus 8x. But now instead of having plus c, I'm going to write what? -4. Are you seeing it? So that is the next step that we need to take now. So I'm going to write it down. So we had y. So I can just, y is equal to x4 divided by 2. So y is equal to x4 divided by 2 plus minus x squared divided by 2 minus 8x minus x squared divided by 2 minus 8x plus c. But the c now is -4. So it's going to give us y will be equal to x4 divided by 2 minus x2 divided by 2 minus 8x plus, into bracket, -4. Plus times minus will give you what? Minus. So it's going to give you y is going to be x4 divided by 2 minus x2 divided by 2 minus 8x minus what? -4. And that will be the answer for that. Okay? Now, so that is that. We've gotten the expression for y. So the question said find the expression of f of x. Our name for f of x is going to be y. So in some questions, they can ask you find the expression of f of x and the rest of it. Now, the next question said find the equation of the tangent and the equation of the normal at x is equal to 2. All right? So equation of the tangent and equation of the normal is easy. So let's get cracking. So please go back to the previous video series on differentiation, where we talked about equation of a tangent, equation of a normal. I talked about all the steps there. So I'm going to just go straight and solve it here. So I'm assuming you've already watched the differentiation videos and you understand how to find the equation of a tangent. So now the equation of a tangent at x is equal to 2. We're looking for the equation of a tangent at x is equal to 2. Okay, so that's easy now. So let's do that. So the first thing now, we need to get the value of y at x is equal to 2, which was the first step. So I'm going to substitute 2 into the y value to give me the y expression to give me the corresponding value of y. So we know y will be equal to, so anywhere I see x, I put 2. It's going to give me 2 raised to the power 4 divided by 2 minus 2 raised to the power 2 divided by 2 minus 8, 2 minus what? 4. Okay, and when you press your calculator for this, it's going to give you minus 14. So the point at the tangent, the coordinate is x is 2 and y is minus what? 14. Then the next part as well is that we need to find the slope, the value of slope at x is equal to 2. We're already given that the m was equal to, from the beginning, was I think 2x cubed, 2x cubed minus x minus 8. So m is equal to 2x cubed minus x minus 8. So at x equal to 2, what is the slope? So we're going to substitute it as well. So that will give us 2 into bracket 2 raised to the power 3 minus 2 minus 8. Okay, so therefore the slope, in this case, is going to be the slope of the tangent, will be equal to what? 6. Then also we can now find the equation of a tangent. So I told you how to find the equation of a tangent. So to find the equation of a tangent, I told you that the formula is y minus y1 is equal to mt x minus x1. So some of you prefer to use y is equal to mx plus c. That can work as well, all right? But I usually prefer to use this one because it's easy to just move on. So I already know my, from this, I know my x is equal to 2. I know my x1 is equal to 2. I know my y1 is equal to minus 14. And I know my m, which is the mt, is equal to 6. Okay, so I'm going to just put it in the formula now. So it's going to be y minus 14 will be equal to mt. It will be 6 x minus what? 2. So it's going to be y plus what? 14 is equal to 6x minus what? 12. Are you seeing it? Then we'll take 14 to the other side. So y will be equal to 6x minus 12 minus 14. And y will be equal to 6x minus 26. So this is the slope of the tangent. Now, but they want us to get the slope of the normal. So the slope of the normal, like I said, the equation of the normal, to get the equation of the normal, it's exactly the same thing. It's just that the slope, you just have to flip it. So we're meant to find the equation of the normal as well. So, but remember the equation of the slope of the normal is equal to minus 1, the slope of the what? Tangent. So the slope of the normal is going to be minus 1 over what? 6, all right? So the same thing, we're going to use the same principle. The equation of the normal, instead is going to be y minus y1 is equals, instead of mt, we're going to have mn x minus what? x1. Are you seeing it? So now what do you do next? So we're going to use it now. So we're going to use the same thing. We know that our mn is equal to minus 1 over 6. We know that our x1 was equal to 2. And I believe the y1 was minus 14, right? It was minus 14. Y1 equal to minus 14. So that is the same point that we had from the beginning, right? So yes, so the x is 2, the y is minus 14. So the same point we had from the beginning. So we're going to put it now. So it's going to be y minus 14 is equal to minus 1 over 6, x minus 2. Okay? Minus 14, x minus So y minus 14. So minus times minus will give you plus. So it's going to be y plus 14 is equal to minus 1 over 6x. Minus times minus will give you plus. 2 over 6, or you can say 1 over 3. Okay? Then when you're done with that, we take 14 to the other side. So it's going to give you y is going to be equal to minus 1 over 6x plus 2 over 6 minus what? 14. And when you press your calculator, it's going to give you y is equal to minus 1 over 6 plus 2 over 6 minus 14 will give you minus 41 over what? 3. And this is the slope of the what? Normal. So, for instance, you could be asked to write this in the standard form, the ax plus by plus c equal to 0, okay? So we've done that already, and I've told you how to do this and how to get the answer as well. All right, so that is that for this question, all right? So we found the equation of the tangent, and we found the equation of the normal. Let me just throw in one more question as well on our example so we can try. So let's pick this question number 2. They said the curve C, okay, with equation y is equal to f of x is such that dy over dx is equal to 3x squared plus kx. Now we're told where k is a constant. Okay. Now they were told as well that given that C passes through the points one and 6 and 2, 1. We're told A. We're told to then find the value of K, B, find the equation of the curve, and C, find the equation of the tangent. Of tangents and normal at x is equal to 1. So what I want you to do, I want you to pause it, okay? Try as much as possible. Try and see if you can solve it. Then when you then come back, you play it and see if you get the same answer. All right, so let's solve this then, okay? So quickly, now let's start. So solution. So we're told that this particular curve, all right? This particular curve with equation y equals to fx is such that when that the slope of that curve was 3x squared plus kx, well, given that it passes through 1 and 6 and 2 and 1, we need to find the value of k. So very easy. So it means that the slope of the curve was equal to 3x squared plus kx, right? So that means we can then differentiate this straight to get the original value of the curve C. So when we integrate this, we integrate that. So we integrate this is going to give us y will be equal to, as usual, you bring out the constant, and you're now integrating x squared, all this with respect to x, okay, as well. And we bring out the constant k, you integrate x, okay. And then this is going to give us 3 into brackets x 2 plus 1 will give you 3 divided by 3 plus the k. 1 plus 1 will give you 2 divided by what? 2 plus c. And this is equal to y. All right? Then we can then simplify this if you want to be x cubed plus kx squared over 2 plus c. But just for the fun of it, I'm not going to just break it down. I'm going to just leave it like this. So y will be equal to 3x cubed divided by 3 plus kx squared divided by 2 plus c. So like I said, you can decide to break it down to simplify it to be x cubed plus, but just for the form of it, I'm going to just leave it there. So that is that for the y. But there's a very important information that we were given. We were told that this curve passes through x, these 2 points, 1 and 6 and 2 and 1. So it means that if we substitute 1 into this curve C, our answer will be 6. It means that if we substitute 2 into this curve C, our answer is going to be 1. All right, so let's do that now. Since it passes through those points, so we can try and solve it now and see what we'll get. So the first one was at 1 and 6. So it means that when we substitute, so the x here, the x is 1 and the y is 6. So that means if we substitute x is equal to 1 in this equation, the answer we should get is 6. So it's going to be 6 will be equal to 3 into bracket 1 cubed divided by 3 plus k 1 squared divided by 2 plus c. So this is going to give us 6 will be equal to 1. This is going to give us plus k 1 over 2 plus what? C. Okay. So what do you do then? So we're looking for C, or you can make C subject of the formula, or how do you want to play around with it? So we can take k 1 over 2 to the other side. So it's going to give us k 1 over 2, that's same thing as k over 2 will be equal to, I take 1 to the other side and I take c to the other side. So if you want to do it this way, then it's going to become 6, take it, minus 1 minus c. All right. Then this is going to give us k divided by 2 become k divided by 2 will be equal to 5 minus what? C. All right. Now to get rid of this 2, I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. So I'm going to multiply through by 2. So that's going to give me k will be equal to 2 times 5, 10, minus what? 2c. So this is the first equation I have. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the second point. The second point was at point 2 and 1. Okay? I'm going to do it for point 2 and 1. So you can do it for the second point. I'm going to do the point at point 2 and 1. Okay? So I've done it for 1 and 6 already. So I'm going to do it for 2 and 1 now. So at point 2 and 1, so we're going to trace it, 2 and 1. So we've done at 1 and 6. So at 2 and 1, so basically the same thing. When I substitute x to be equal to 2, my answer in that equation is going to give me what? 1. I don't know if that makes sense. So basically the same thing we did with the previous point, we're repeating it now. So we have the point again, y is equal to, I think, 3x cubed divided by 3 plus kx squared divided by 2 then I think it's plus c. Yes, plus c. All right. So the same thing, when we substitute 2 the answer should be 1, all right? So we're going to have 1 is equal to 3, 2 cubed divided by 3 plus k 2 squared divided by 2 plus what? C, all right? So we can now break this down. So it'll be 1 will be equal to, when you simplify this, it's going to give you 8 plus 2 squared divided by 2 will give you 2k plus c. I take all this to the other side and to leave k. So I'm going to have 2k is going to give us 1 minus 8 minus c. And that'll give us 2k is equal to minus 7 minus c. So this is the second equation for what? Okay. Now you can see that we have two equations here. I have this one. I can call this equation 1. Okay. And I also have this one here. I can call this equation what? 2. So now, because I have equation 1 and 2, and you can see, I can use simultaneous equation here. So I can solve equation 1 and equation 2 simultaneously. Okay, I can solve equation 1 and 2 simultaneously. Okay, so the first one, we have k is equal to 10 minus 2c. So we have k is equal to 10 minus 2c. And the second one, we have 2k is equal to minus 7 minus what? C. So what I can do is that I can multiply the equation 1 by 2, okay, to make it, I want to use elimination method here. So remember, if you've missed my videos, I've talked about solving simultaneously using elimination or substitution method. So you can go back to the playlist. I have videos on elimination method and solving simultaneous equation using substitution method. So times it by 2, so it's going to give us 2k will be equal to 20 minus 4c. And you bring down the original one, that would be 2k will be equal to minus 7 minus c. So like I said, the essence of using this is that so that you can cancel out one of the variable. So 2k minus 2k will give you 0. Now 20 minus 7, 20 minus 7 will give you 27, because it's 20 minus 7. Minus times minus will give you plus. So it's going to be 20 plus 7, and that will give you 27. Then the next one we're going to have is minus 4 minus c. So it's going to be minus 4c minus c. Minus times minus is plus. So it's going to be minus 4c plus c, and that will give you what? Minus 3c. All right? Give you minus 3c. Okay? So I'm going to take 3c to the other side. So it's going to give me 3c is equal to 27. So I'll divide both sides by 3. So with this now, the c is going to be equal to what? 9. So because the c is equal to 9, I can now substitute it into any of the equations to give me the value for k. But I'll prefer to substitute it in equation 1 because equation 1 looks easy. All right, so it's going to be k is equal to 10 minus 2c. So from equation 1, okay, k is equal to 10 minus 2c, right? I hope I got that right. Yes. So, but we already know our c to be equal to 9. So therefore, k is going to be 10 minus 2 into bracket 9, which is going to give us equal to 10 minus 18. So therefore, k is going to be equal to minus what? 8. So k is equal to minus 8. So with this now, we can go back and get the value for y. All right, so we can get the value for y. So we now know what was the y expression we had. This was the y expression we had. So now we can now copy this y expression, but this time we now know the value for each of them. Okay, So we now know the value for each of them now. So we can copy this one, or I can just write it, then just copy it. So it's 3x cubed over 3 plus kx squared over 2, all right? So we have it down here. So y, from the y we had earlier was, the y we had earlier was equal to 3x cubed over 3 plus kx squared over 2 plus c. Right, so hope I'm right. Yes. So now, but this time we know our k now. So we know the k, but k, we know k is equal to -8, and we know our c is equal to, I think, 9. Yes, 9. Our c is equal to 9. So the y is going to be equal to 3x cubed over 3 plus -8x squared over 2 plus c is what? 9. Then you can simplify this further. Then y will be equal to, this will give you x cubed. Then 2 divided by that will give you -4x squared plus 9. And this is the what? The expression for y. And that is that. That was the expression for y. So we found the value of k, found the equation of the curve, the b part, the expression for y. Now the next part said that we should find the equation of the tangent and the normal at x is equal to 1. So equation of the tangent and normal. So like I said, I've have a series on equation of tangent, equation of normal. So please go back to the video. I think I did that under the differentiation series. So please go back and have a look. So how do you find the equation of the tangent? So the equation of tangent, this part is so easy. So you have to use the formula, y minus y1 is equal to mt x minus what? x1. So like I said, some of you use the y equals mx plus c, is still fine, doesn't matter. So we're looking for the equation of the tangent at x equal to 1. So the first thing we need to find, I need to first find the mt. So the mt for this is going to be same thing as the y over the x, all right? And we're already given the dy over the x from the question, and we're told that the y over the x was 3x squared plus kx, but we now know that the k is -8, okay? So we have 3x squared plus kx, but now we know the k is -8, so it's going to become 3x squared minus 8x. Now, as x is equal to 1, we'll substitute 1 here. So it's going to be equal to 3, so the mt will be equal to 3, 1 squared minus 8, 1. And therefore, the mt for this question is going to be equal to, this is 3 minus 8, and that will give you -5. Okay? So, and also the next thing we need to find as well is that we need to find the y1. So since we know the x1 is 8, so given that the x1, the x1 is equal to 1. So we can then find the y1, all right? So to get the y1, so what do? We substitute this into the original equation. I already know the original equation to be x cubed minus 4x squared plus 9. So we know this to be y is equal to x cubed minus 4x squared plus 9. So we're going to substitute 1 into this, and that will give us 1 cubed minus 4, 1 squared plus 9. And this is going to give us what? 6. So therefore now, we can now say we have it as 1 and 6. So that means the x1 is equal to what? 1, and the y1 is equal to 6. Now we have everything we need now. So we know this, and also we also know the mt to be equal to -5. All right? We know the mt is equal to -5. So we can now solve this. So it's going to become y minus y1 is equal to empty x minus what? x1. So we can now solve this. It's going to be y minus, y is the y1, 6, is equal to the empty minus 5, the x minus what, the x1? 1. Are you seeing it? So it's going to give us y minus 6 is equal to minus 5x plus 5. So we'll take 6 to the other side. So it's going to be y will be equal to minus 5x plus 5 plus what? 6. Plus 5 plus 6 is going to give us 11. So y will be equal to minus 5x plus 11. And that will be the equation of the tangent at x is equal to 1. So now to get the equation of the normal at x is equal to 1, a similar thing. Equation of the normal. The equation of the normal, all right? So at x equal to 1, the same thing. We've gotten that, but the only difference here is that it's y minus y1. So instead of the slope of the tangent, it's going to be slope of the normal. Mn, x minus what? x1. Right, so we also know that Mn, so please go back to my previous video. So I'm assuming that you've watched this and you understood the concept of finding the equation of a normal. That's the reason why I'm going like this, all right? So in the previous video, I wrote the steps on how to calculate the equation of a normal. It's equal to minus 1 over slope of the tangent. Okay, minus 1, the slope of a tangent. So the tangent, the MT, we already found MT to be minus 5. So therefore, the Mn is going to be minus 1 divided by minus 5. And that will give us 1 over what? 5. Are you seeing it? But the x1 still remains the same. The x1 was 1. And the y1 will be equal to, I think it was 6. We had the y1 4. Yes, the y1 6. The y1 still remains the same. So we then use the formula, the y minus y1 is equal to Mn x minus what? x1. So it's going to be y minus 6 is equal to Mn, 1 over 5, x minus what? x1 is giving you what? 1. All right, so then we'll now open the bracket. So it's going to give us y minus 6 is equal to 1 over 5x minus 1 over what? 5. Then we take 6 to the other side. So y will be equal to 1 over 5x minus 1 over 5 plus what? 6. Okay? Then we'll now add them together. So minus 1 over 5 plus 6 is going to give you 29 over 5, I believe. So it's going to be y is going to be 1 over 5x plus 29 over what? 5. And this is the answer for this. All right. And that is the equation of the normal. Sometimes you can be asked to leave it in standard form, which is the ax plus by plus c equal to 0. So just in case this question did not ask for that, but they asked you to leave it in standard form. So what do? We have y is equal to 1 over 5 x plus 29 over 5. I'm going to multiply both sides by what? By 5. It's going to give me 5y is equal to x plus what? 29. I take y to the other side. So that's going to give me x minus 5y plus 29 is equal to 0. So sometimes you could be asked to leave it in a standard form, but it's exactly the same thing. All right, that is that. So that is that for how to solve this question. So you can go back, have a look, practice more questions, practice as much as you can. And if you have any question and you're not sure, just let me know. Reach out to me, send me an email, and I will get back to you on this. All right, that is that for that. Yeah, that is that on how to find the equation of a tangent. So I'm going to see you in the next video series. And if you have any question or there's a particular concept you don't understand, put it in the comment section. And don't forget to click the notification bell and and subscribe so that when I post new videos, you'll be the first person to know. All right, see you soon, and I'll see you on the next video.